Hi students, coming to the next topic in the subject cloud computing was parallel computing. Actually, it is a form of computation in which many calculations are carried out simultaneously. So parallel means different works can carried out simultaneously. Let me write this. It is a form of computation in which many calculations in the processor, the many calculations are carried out simultaneously. So that's why we call it as a parallel. The works are carried out simultaneously. So it is a parallel computing. It is a form of computation in which many calculations are carried out simultaneously. So we call it as it is a simultaneous use of multiple computer resources to solve a computational problem. If you want to solve any computational problem, like if you want to access some video files, if you want to watch some videos, or if you want to listen some music, or if you want to write some document, so it is a simultaneous processes which uses a multiple compute resources to solve the computational problem. So it to be run using how this parallel computing will be work. To be run, this parallel computing to be run using multiple CPUs. So with the help of the multiple CPUs, we can perform simultaneous processes, okay, simultaneous computational problems. We can solve the simultaneous computational problems by using the multiple CPUs. A problem is broken into discrete parts that can be solved concurrently by using parallel computing. A problem is broken into discrete parts. So whatever the problem you have taken, the large problem, that can be broken into discrete parts that can be solved concurrently with the help of parallel computing. Concurrently. And here each part is further broken down to a series of instructions. Each part is, whatever the broken part is there, so that each part is further broken down to a series of instructions, so that the processor can access one by one series of instruction and next another, like that, and finally instructions from each part execute simultaneously on different CPUs. Finally, instruction from each part execute simultaneously on different CPU. So this is a concept of parallel computing. So parallel computing is a form of computation in which many calculations are carried out simultaneously. So what the parallel computing will do? So it takes a problem and it broken into discrete parts that which can be solved concurrently, and here the each part, that is a broken part, is further broken down to a series of instructions, so that the different CPUs can access simultaneously those instructions. So let me show you in the form of diagram how the parallel computing will work. Let's take any problem. So this is a problem. So a problem is broken down into discrete parts. So according to our definition, so it's broken down into discrete part that can be solved concurrently. How it can be solved concurrently? So here each part is further broken down into, each part is further broken down into series of instructions. So let us take, these are the series of instructions. Okay, so here this is a small broken discrete part, and again this part is divided into series of instructions. So finally what it will do? So these instructions from each part is execute simultaneously on different CPUs. So this part will execute in one CPU and this part will be executed in another CPU. So like that. CPUs. So this is the work of parallel computing. It is a form of computation in which many calculations are carried out simultaneously by using multiple CPUs. Let's see the main reasons why we are going for the parallel computing. Instead of using the normal computational process, instead of using the serial computation process, why we are going for parallel computing process. Let's see the main reasons of using this parallel computing. The first main reason of using this is save time or save memory. So whatever the equipments we are using, whatever the technology we are using, we want a good output as well as with low cost and less time. That is the main reasons of using these different technologies. So the first reason is save time and or money. That's the main use of using this parallel computing, and it solves the large problems. It solves larger problems. How it is going to solve the large problems? So the large problems are divided into discrete parts, and each part is further broken down into series of instructions, and it executes simultaneously on different CPUs. So here the database processing the millions of transactions per second will be the example for this. Solving larger problem means whatever the bank transactions you are taking, whatever the banking technology. So there you are using the parallel computing concept. Why they are using the parallel computing? Because the database processing millions of transactions are going on per second. So for that it's better to go for parallel computing rather than the normal processor. Okay, so here in the banking application it solves the larger problems so that the different people can perform transactions per second. And next, it provide concurrency. And it uses the non-local resources. With the help of this non-local resources, it can be work. So this is the main reasons of using the parallel computing. Actually, why use parallel computing? So actually because of these reasons we are using the parallel computing. Whatever the current computer architectures or we have taken, so that are increasingly relying upon hardware level parallelism to improve the performance, like multiple execution units, pipelined instructions, and multi-core. So whatever the current computing architectures are taken, so those current computing architectures are increasingly rely upon hardware level parallelism to improve the performance. Okay, so like multiple execution units, pipeline instructions, and multi-core. So this is a concept of parallel computing. So whenever they are asked about to write what is a parallel computing, you just say it is a form of computation in which many calculations are carried out simultaneously. Just take this pictorial representation so that it will be very clear for you. Okay, so take the large problem and broken down into discrete parts, and here each part is broken down into series of instructions, and each instruction the part executes simultaneously on different CPUs. Thank you.